I have always been curious about how the world's first stealth fighter was shot down. On March 27, 1999, an F-117 Nighthawk was flying at low altitude under the escort of two F-16s. Its mission was to destroy the Serbian Air Force Command Center. As the aircraft formation approached the Serbian border, the weather became extremely bad. The escorting F-16s received orders to return immediately. Base. The F-117 had to carry out the mission alone. To ensure safety, the aircraft had to remain stealthy to avoid detection by Serbian radar. However, the F-117 itself was the most advanced fighter aircraft in the world at that time. Its design adopted the concept of flat surfaces, with the aircraft body surface deliberately designed into multiple irregular planes. These planes could effectively reflect radar waves, thereby avoiding radar reflection back to the enemy's receivers. The aircraft also used reflective radar-absorbing materials, which could effectively absorb radar waves. Its wing sweep angle is specifically designed to be 72.5 degrees. This ultra-high sweep angle not only gives the aircraft a lower radar cross-section, but also optimizes its stealth performance. The design of the pilot's cockpit and fuselage also aims to minimize radar wave reflection, allowing the aircraft to quickly maneuver through enemy defense networks. The two internal weapon bays are equipped with laser-guided bombs that are precisely directed at targets through the steerable turret and infrared sensors beneath the nose, achieving efficient strikes on important military targets. Its stealth design not only offers advantages on radar, but also, at the time, it was also difficult for enemy infrared and optical detection equipment to spot it. The F-117 used many cutting-edge technologies of the time, which allowed it to successfully carry out missions even at night or in bad weather. However, this time the F-117 faced a different situation, because ground-based air defense positions were awaiting its arrival. The positions were commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Zoltán Dani, who learned of the enemy aircraft's movements through spies, and believed that today was the best opportunity to destroy the Nighthawk. To ensure they could lock onto the target, Dani activated the P-18 early warning radar. Due to the interference from severe weather, the radar detected a large number of false signals. But even so, Dani did not give up. She continued to carefully observe the radar screen. With relentless effort, she finally confirmed a tiny target, the enemy aircraft. Dani immediately ordered the target lock-on. Due to the radar signal being unstable, the target still couldn't appear. At this critical moment, the F-117 opened its bomb bay, suddenly increasing the radar reflection signal. Dani quickly confirmed the target and immediately ordered missile launch. Two missiles flew out from the launcher while the F-117, according to the mission plan, dropped the bombs. The bombs accurately destroyed the target as guided by laser. At this moment, the F-117 swiftly flew over the target, and the mission seemed to be perfectly concluded. However, a few seconds later, as he was flying over the Atlantic, a missile lock alert suddenly sounded in his cockpit, with the warning lights on the control panel flashing incessantly. The pilot saw two missiles breaking through the clouds and rapidly approaching. He immediately initiated an emergency return. The pilot attempted evasive maneuvers to break the missile lock. Since the F-117 lacks electronic jamming equipment, once locked, the pilot can only rely on the aircraft's maneuvers to evade. The first missile malfunctioned, grazing past the cockpit, but the second missile did not fail and accurately hit the Nighthawk's wing. The entire left wing was blown to pieces, illuminated by orange flames in the night sky. The aircraft immediately lost control and began to spin violently. The pilot was pressed into his seat by strong G-forces, with alarms blaring incessantly, and the flames outside the cockpit lighting up the surroundings. He realized he was on the brink of life and death and had to initiate ejection immediately, as it was his only hope of survival. So he desperately grabbed the ejection handle and pulled it hard. The cockpit exploded open instantly. The seat quickly left the aircraft. In the next few seconds, he almost lost consciousness, believing he was still inside the plane. Finally, the parachute opened smoothly and slowed his descent. He watched the burning aircraft crash from the sky, but he quickly realized the enemy would start searching. Helplessly, he took out the survival radio to report that he was still alive. Upon receiving it, after the response he provided his last position, then he found a ravine and hid himself in it. The news of the downed fighter quickly spread and the Serbian army immediately began searching. Flashlight beams swept across the fields and trucks came and went on the nearby road. The pilot could only wait quietly. Suddenly, he heard rustling sounds from the bushes growing louder and louder. At this moment, he was so nervous that he remained completely still, like a rock, holding his breath. As the panting and sniffing sounds got closer, it turned out to be a dog. He cautiously drew out a knife, and upon seeing the knife, the dog surprisingly left. The pilot finally breathed a sigh of relief. At this moment, the radio suddenly crackled to life. The rescue team had finally arrived. He quietly emerged from his hiding place, and after confirming with the rescue team, he lit a flare. The helicopter quickly flew over. The Serbian patrol also began to approach. In the end, the helicopter arrived first, and he quickly ran towards it. As the helicopter took off, the Serbian forces arrived almost simultaneously, but they only found the wreckage of the plane. 12 years later, the F-117 pilot and the officer who shot him down met, and he personally expressed his respect to him.